so the truck enter and exit, it wasn't really working super well, so it's kind of bugging me, so I'm gonna tackle it right now. So right now I have all these things that are just saying the Clint BP. Everything's triggered either by a tick or it's triggered by a push of a button that um, uses a casting system, which is no good. I'm going to use an interface instead. I think it's going to be cleaner, so I'm going to go into the Clint Blueprints folder. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to create under, where is it? Is it under Blueprint? Yeah, Blueprint interface. And I want to call this Clint to truck BPI. So basically what this is, if you don't know, so let's just say within the Clint BP, I've been using cast to truck to to make things happen within the truck BP. So it's a way of communicating between two different blueprints. I'm going to use this one instead. I have a feeling it's going to be better, to be more efficient. So I have the Clint to truck BPI. So this is stuff that goes from the Clint blueprint to the truck. And I want to create another one within the truck folder, the truck blueprints. And it's going to do the opposite, which is this is truck to Clint BPI. And I'm going to open that up. So let's just say Clint to truck. So Clint is, let's just say if you use messages as an analogy, then if Clint is the one that's sending a message to the truck, then the truck, which is the recipient, you have to go in here under class settings, under interfaces, drop down inherited. Is it inherited? Or implemented? Yeah, implemented interfaces. Clint to truck BPI. Why did that not work? Oh, you have to compile. Is it class settings or class defaults? I think it's class settings. Add. What the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Clint to truck BPI, which means it can receive incoming information, I guess. In the Clint BP, I need to do the opposite, class settings. Add. Truck to Clint BPI. There we go. Okay, so I'll start with the Clint. First of all, I need to go into each one of these, Clint to truck. I'm going to add use this one. Rename, I'll call it Clint to truck. Um, I don't think I need any inputs. I can just leave it as it is. In here, I'm going to rename truck to Clint. So first, I need to compile all this. I'm going to go here, save all. So in the Clint, okay, I have to go through this one by one. Okay, so can enter truck. Okay, so when this means to truck can enter. Okay, so can enter truck has to be there. So when the button is pressed, I'm moving component to this location, which is fine. This is the one that I want to delete, enter initiated. So truck BP. I'm going to get rid of this enter initiated. Enter truck. I want to copy this and put it over here. Go back here, delete this. So this is the thing that's going to trigger this is Clint to truck. And I want to get rid of this enter initiated. Delete. And so there's nothing here that I need to deal with in DeepMind Graph anymore. I want to keep everything in one page. And I want to do the exact same thing for this. I don't want exit initiated. This is just redundant. Yeah, it's redundant like variables. So I can delete. First I gotta find where else it's in use. First copy. Where are you? Okay. Copy. So I can get rid of all this. So the thing that this is triggered by is the truck to Clint. And because this is no longer being triggered by the tick, I don't need the do once node anymore. So this whole thing only gets triggered once whenever it's triggered by the truck to Clint. So from here, I have to do Clint to truck. Got the wrong ones. This is receiving a message from truck to Clint. So the blue one is I'm sending. Red one is receiving. Gotta do the same thing over here. Got the wrong one here. But get Clint to truck. And again, this one I don't need a do once node. Okay, let me just work on this one for now. So right away, as long as the player is within a certain distance of the go-to location beside the truck, if that's within that range, smaller or equal to 150 units from that location, then this is true. And if it's false, I forgot to put one down here. If it's false, then this is unchecked. So only if the enter button is pressed and this is true, then all this stuff can happen. So the first thing that needs to happen is I'm sending a message to the truck immediately, and immediately I am moving to the go-to location beside the truck, and it's going to take 1 second to get there. And after that 1 second, a 1 second delay, then the animation is going to play of him opening the door. And at the end of that, which is 4 seconds, 1 second of moving to the go-to location, 3 seconds of playing the animation. Then I'm going to unpossess the player and possess the truck, and I'm going to set the visibility of the character that's sitting inside the truck. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to turn off the visibility of the regular Clint. So on the side of the truck that receives the message Clint to truck, after 1 second I'm playing the Dodge Ram enter animation. And that's basically it. And if I go here, if the enter or the exit button is pressed, you don't need this anymore. You just need set visibility of the mesh. The mesh is turned on. The mesh of him sitting down in the truck is immediately turned off. And this one can just go like this. The mesh plays the exit animation, and after 3 seconds I unpossess the truck and possess the player here, and then I also need to immediately send truck to Clint message immediately. So that means here he's going to receive a message. He's going to immediately play he's going to move to the same position. And he's going to play the exit animation. So first I need to make sure on the side of the truck both animations are being played. There's the exit. Okay, so I'm gonna, this one's gonna be enter truck. Oh no, sorry, this is exit truck. Enter truck. There's the message. What do I do? What's going on here? Oh, okay, I think I got the wrong, we just need these first. Exit truck. This one's enter truck. Distance to truck, go to location. Okay, what's wrong with this? As soon as the button is pressed, truck to Clint. This one? Okay, maybe it's this one. Okay, that compiles. Okay, this one here. Clint to truck. So I need the one that says truck to Clint BPI. I think I have this one, the one that says message, but I need this one, I think. It looks different because the target has like a yellowish sort of thing to it, as to where this one has a blue. Maybe that's not the right one. But if I compile it, it's wrong now. Let me go to that. Let me go to the boolean. Okay, that should be good for now. Okay, I'm gonna go here and oh wait, truck VP. So if anyone saw my last video, the character when exiting the truck, instead of going to the go-to location beside the door, it will go to some weird location. I have a funny feeling that it's a collider on the truck that is causing it. So in my last video, I went to move the capsule. Probably don't need to worry about the capsule, but just say the mesh selected. I set the camera to ignore, so that basically this truck, any sort of colliders that's on the truck, ignores the camera. I'm gonna make it ignore. It's already ignoring the pawn though. Why? Okay, that's not it then. Anyways, I still need to figure out what the problem is, but I'm going to play it first, see if my interfaces made any difference. So I'm going to walk over, press E, and press E again. Again, he goes to a weird location. So I don't know why. Another thing that I need to take care of real quick is when he enters the truck, I'm going to make it so that both the mesh and pull out collision preset. Set collision. Collision. That's not it. Set collision object type. Okay, object type is a pawn. Set collision I know what this is. This is collision enabled, query only, no physics. So when he enters the truck, he immediately mesh as well as set collision capsule component enabled. So both of these immediately are going to be no collision. Now we'll copy and paste these. When he exits, so after just say a delay, for 3 seconds, because it takes 3 seconds to get out of the truck. Oops. Then I'll set it back to whatever it was. So mesh. The mesh was by default query only, no physics collision. The capsule collider, capsule component, collision enabled query and physics. Okay. Let's see if that makes any difference. Oops. If I proceed, goes in. So if I move forward, drive forward, oh, it still does that weird thing, which means he's still standing there. If I proceed again to exit, the reason why that works, I think, is because the collisions are turned off while he's exiting. It's still turned off before he exits, so he doesn't like run into anything. So he doesn't end up in a weird position. He winds up where he's supposed to be, which is good. I should also point out that when the truck is still, the wheels don't spin anymore. Before it was like spinning like crazy. The reason was because back in the truck BP under animations, in my last video I set up all the different animations depending on which way the truck is turning. The reason why it was spinning in some while it was absolutely still is because some of these were greater or equal to signs. They can't be greater or equal to. It has to be either greater or smaller. It can't be greater or equal to. So that was the main reason for that. Okay, so I found a pretty cool solution to the camera rotation. Before the camera wasn't rotating on the pitch with this node, using the mouse's up and down movement. Before I was going into the spring arm and trying to toggle the use pawn control rotation, but that wasn't really working because the car or the camera was no longer rotating with the car as the car turned. So instead, I decided to rotate the spring arm in the pitch. As you can see, if I rotate that, you can see the pitch rotates. So all I'm doing is I'm adding the spring arm's relative rotation, and in order to set it, I need to get the rotation in the X and Z doesn't change, so I just plug them back right in. so whatever it is, that remains the same. The Y, which does rotate with the mouse input, um, is basically whatever it is now plus um, the axis value. So whatever this value is, but I'm going to times it by a factor. Uh, it turns out I really don't need this times symbol because I just have a 1 there. A 1 times that is whatever, like it doesn't change the axis value. But I set it there just in case I do want to change it by a factor. So I add that to whatever it is right now at any moment. So if I go play, come on. The one thing that I don't like is I usually like it when it's flipped. So whenever, just say I drag the mouse down, the camera should go up, and when I drag the mouse up, the camera should go down, or vice versa. Um, so it turns out this is pretty handy. So I can just turn this into a -1. So I'm taking this value. Um, so if I go now, oops. So if I drag the mouse down, the camera rotates up. If I push the mouse forward, then the camera rotates down, which is, I believe that's how it feels more natural that way. If I turn, the camera rotates with the car turn. Okay, so that's the camera rotation, so the camera is good. Okay, so the animations look a little bit better now. Basically what I did was I got rid of all, actually no, for the Clints I did all play anim montages, and for the trucks it was play animations. One thing that I did differently was when he enters, everything's the same except I changed the play animation to play anim montage, and that's when the player presses the button. But when the player presses the button, it also triggers an interface message that goes to the truck BP, which is right here. Um, Think for a second. Oh, sorry. When he exits the truck, so when he's in the truck, um, instead of when the exit button is pressed, it triggers a message to Clint, and originally it was over here where I played the anim montage and the move player to the go-to location, but instead, I don't think it was reading this properly, so I did it in the truck blueprint. So in the truck blueprint, um, when exit is pressed, even though it's in the truck blueprint, it it plays the character animation, plays the anim montage from the truck blueprint, as well as it moves the character to the go-to location from the truck. So it's no longer the Clint blueprint that's doing this. And likewise, when I enter the truck, Originally, it was the truck that received the message and then played the animation. Now I disconnected that. Now it's the Clint BP that triggers the truck animation of entering, of opening the door. But for some reason the animation is still really fast. But you can still tell what's going on. So if I press enter, goes to position, gets in the car is good to go. Say I move around, and then I press E again, and he exits. But then, as you can see, the door opens like super fast, and you can barely see the animation. I don't know what's going on there. Oops, keeps on going into the car. There we go. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that for now. Let's see. Another thing that I did, the Clint BP, with the mesh selected, I went into the collision presets here. Originally it was set to character mesh, but I set it to no collision. It doesn't necessarily need collision because the capsule collider is colliding with everything in the world. It doesn't need the mesh to collide. The reason that was important is because if I play now and I enter the truck, oops, too far. Enter the truck. If I go forward, it doesn't have that funny camera thing where the mesh is like, I guess like the mesh is like still there somewhere, but it doesn't interfere with the camera, so it doesn't have that funny flicker where the camera gets pushed into the truck. So I can move around, press exit, comes out, it's all good. Okay, another thing that I would like to do is in Clint, as you can see, everything has a specular, but everything from his skin to his jeans, jacket, nothing here should have specular, except for maybe like a little bit on his skin, maybe a little bit on his boots, but like the fabric for sure and his hair, it should be all matte. But I'm going to make the entire thing all matte. So first, in order to do that, I need to see how many materials I have. To do that, select the mesh, and as you can see, there's Clint body, boot, teeth. I'm only going to worry about the body, because the thing that's really obvious is the clothing. So I'm going to go to the Clint folder, create a new folder called materials, and there I want to create a material. I'm going to call it Clint body make it a texture sample. And I'm going to use Clint color. Will be the base color. Vector parameter. And I'm going to leave it black. And I'm going to plug it right into specular. I think I need to create one more. Oh yeah, code. Create one more. Clint coat matte. Open that up. Texture sample. Clint. I guess it's jacket color. Plug that in. As you can see, it's got a specular right there. I want to get rid of that. Vector parameter. Everything's black, so I can just leave it as is and just stick it into specular. And that highlight goes away. So I'm going to save that. So I can close these. So I'm going to go do it straight in the model. The skeletal mesh. So if I do it here, it should show up here. First I should change his hair. I don't know if you've noticed, but I got rid of all the spikes in his hair. I think this makes him look tougher without the spikes. The one with like the wavy hair, that's like a different version of Clint. The one I want for this game has short hair. The body is Clint body matte. The Clint jacket is Clint coat. As you can see, the highlights go away. So go ahead and see that. Okay, so it all updates here, so there's no highlights, which is what he should look like. Okay, so there's, now that I'm done with Clint, there's changes that I would like to make to the materials of the truck. So I'm going to go to models. We'll open up the truck skeletal mesh. I'm going to go to the truck folder. create a new folder, materials, open that up. I'm going to import some images. So I've got these 3 images. So as you can see, these 3 images are pretty much all black with like one little like white space. That white space is any part of the truck that has a chrome color. So I'm going to try and add that and make it as shiny as possible. So the first one I'm going to create is truck front matte. We'll open that up. I'm going to go ahead and close some of these. I don't need the interfaces anymore. Create another material. Truck rear matte. Open that up. In materials, truck component matte. And open that up. Okay, so first I'll start off the truck front. Texture sample. Do one more texture sample. This one's going to be the ones I just imported, so Dodge. They're called metallic. So I don't know, it was either roughness or metallic. I'll plug it into metallic and see what that does. I'm going to do roughness. I'm going to unplug the metallic. Oh, I have this backwards. Is there an invert? No, there's no invert. I'm just curious, so I'm just going to go back here. Change this truck body front. might change some of these names because they're the same as some of the other ones. I'll do all capital letters. The word truck. 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 That was the wrong one. Symbol. Got my truck again. Why is it completely black? Did I not save? Oh, there we go. The problem is, although it's nice and shiny, I've got it backwards. This has to be really shiny, and this has to be less shiny. So I'm going to go change that. So I guess the truck has to be closer to white, which is not completely white, but like a gray color. So I'm gonna recolor that. But it's this white one that has to be completely black. So I'm gonna export that as Police Metallic. Same with this one. This one should just be gray. This one should be completely black. This one's rear. Save. And same with this one. Okay. This is the front metallic. Okay. So I'm gonna go back here. Select these 1, 2, 3. Right click and press re-import. Okay. So now go here. So the truck is, what happens if I plug this into metallic and then I save. Anyways, I have to look at the materials. Texture, sample. This one is truck rear color. Plug that in. Texture, sample. Truck. Maybe I should plug this one into specular as well. truck body rear. I need to make one last one for truck components color. Plug that in. Well, this one already has the right. I don't know how I knew that. Okay, the whole thing's shiny now, but I have no shininess in the chrome. First, let me save all. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly play. Oops. Save this. So if I play, I think he looks better with the matte looking jacket. Truck looks a lot better with the shininess. If I press C to enter, it's not so bad, but I think there could be more reflections on the truck. Press C once more to exit. Okay, that's not bad. It's okay, it's not amazing, but it looks better than before. Okay, I'm going to cut it off here. Hopefully that was interesting. Yep, so the next few videos, yeah, there's a lot more that I want to do with this, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do next. Maybe a shotgun, maybe I'll model up some zombies and animate them. I want to do my own terrain and trees. So yeah, please stay tuned if you're interested in this, seeing more. Okay, thanks.